Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Highruler, and on today's video we're going to be talking Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and Insider Episode 3, which just launched today. Now, for those of you who know and for those who don't, Insider Episode 3 covered post-launch content support for the game starting when it launches, and there was a big focus of the actual content including Joker, which was the main highlight for a lot of people. Now, throughout the video they did sprinkle in some teases of some of the skins that we can expect in the game, and there was talk a little bit about the monetization. But I want to focus today's video on the monetization because there's always going to be a lot of talk about this, especially with it being a live service game and the funding of ongoing content. Now, one of the things that they did talk about was that the in-game shop is going to be all cosmetics only. This means that there isn't going to be anything that affects gameplay there. So expect things like weapon skins or expect your skins that you can get for your characters. That's kind of the stuff that I would expect in the in-game shop. Now, there wasn't anything in regards to the prices or tiers or what to expect there, but obviously, as we know from many other games through many other series on many other platforms, that usually these things do come with rarities and each rarity has its own set of prices, but we don't know anything in regards to that moving forward. But one of the things I do want to talk about today is the battle pass, because a lot of people have been harping on battle passes lately as the live service exhaustion really takes over. People nowadays just seemingly are over live service games. They say there's too many and the ones that we do have aren't good enough, and it just always wants to dominate your time and you feel FOMO, and there's a lot of that going around now. And Suicide Squad has actually taken a lot of flack for this before the game even launches due to the nature of what it is. So let's talk about the battle pass and let's talk about Suicide Squad and their strategy. One of the interesting things that Suicide Squad has done is that they've actually eliminated FOMO from their game. For example, every seasonal content mission that you can do at the start of the season will be available 6 months after the season ends. They've said that FOMO is not really a thing when it comes to their in-game content, which is really nice. So when season 1 launches in March, if you pick up the game in October, November, December, whenever that may be, you can actually go back and play season 1's content, including all the boss fights, all the missions, and get all the loot again from that season. This means that it basically is not a FOMO game whatsoever. Seasons are there, and seasons are designed to introduce a story, but they're not removing that story from the game for anyone who jumps in late. This just goes to show the player-first approach that Rocksteady is putting into this game. They've decided that their in-game content, a lot of the things that players want to do and participate in, is not actually going away, which removes a lot of the FOMO from the game itself. You always hear players talk about how these games dominate your time, and because they dominate your time, they dominate your wallet. Rocksteady has gone against that, and they've actually listened to a lot of the complaints that these games have kind of spawned, including over on the Destiny side, and they've said, okay, if you want to come back and play our content 6 months, 8 months, 10 months from now, it's going to be there for you. Rocksteady has actually listened to a lot of the things that players like myself have said across so many of these different games and have actually listened and implemented these features. To further that point, I want to talk about one of Lejeune's tweets here because it breaks down a lot of the things that we are expecting with the game. Now, of course, this tweet was 10 days ago, so things have changed, including the details of some of the stuff that we know here. But the proof is in the pudding here that Rocksteady has listened to a lot of the complaints over the years when it comes to live service looter shooters, and they've done everything that they could in order to kind of make sure that this game launches with both feet forward in order to make sure that it lands with an impact. To that point, I want to talk about what they could do with their battle passes in order to make sure that everything across the board is landing with an impact. One of the things that I like to talk about when it comes to battle passes is that there's two ways to go about it. There's obviously the Fortnite side where, of course, there's FOMO there. There's the drive to finish it before the end of the season. But then there's Halo. And Halo, to me, is the gold standard when it comes to a player-first approach to a battle pass. These come out with the start of a season, and you can go back to it at any time. You can purchase it at any time, and it doesn't actually expire. If Rocksteady was actually listening to just more of the monetization complaints and not just a lot of the gameplay complaints that they've shown they've listened to, a player-first approach with their battle pass, more in line with what Halo is, would actually be the best approach here. It stands to reason that everything in this video has kind of demonstrated that a lot of the time where these developers, we don't really know if they're listening. We can actually see that Rocksteady was listening over the years when it comes to a lot of the things that we were complaining about. A lot of the stuff that I was complaining about with regards to an Avengers or a Destiny has actually been answered here by Rocksteady with Suicide Squad. So the final piece of the puzzle is, will Rocksteady deliver the final blow to a lot of the hate that this game is getting when Season 1 launches in March with a battle pass that does not have any FOMO in it? And the answer is, we don't know yet. They didn't talk about it, they didn't say anything, but it stands to reason with everything Rocksteady has demonstrated that this game should have a battle pass that is player first, it is player friendly, it is time friendly, and it is something that they've shown with regards to their content. They are against FOMO. So if they stand by that, when this game launches next Tuesday, we should be one step closer to understanding, will this monetization model work? Will this be as friendly as their content approach has been? Will the shop be fair to the players? These are all questions that we should start receiving answers for starting next Tuesday, going into Season 0 and then into Season 1 in March. But with that being said, we still have some time to go before then, so who knows what can happen. But let me know in the comments below, do you guys think this is going to be the case? Do you guys agree or disagree? Let me know, and I can't wait to read all your guys' comments. As always, guys, enjoy the rest of your day and the night. Take care of yourselves. Later, guys.